As a teenager receiving a cancer diagnosis, that is so very devastating. But what if there was a way to stop time until science can catch up with a cure? In the UK, a tragic situation sounds more like science fiction after a 14-year-old with a rare form of cancer was cryogenically frozen after she died. It was her wish to be frozen so that in the future, she could be brought back to life after a cure for cancer is found. Cryopreservation of sperm, eggs, and embryos in fertility treatments is common, but preserving entire bodies after death is controversial. The teenager had to fight for the procedure in London's High Court, where the judge ultimately ruled in her favor. Could it be possible to preserve the body and extend life after death? And if so, would you want to? So this Cryonics Institute received her body, which was shipped over from the UK after spending 8 days on dry ice. I just want to open the floor up, opinions on this, because it's so sad.
She was 14,
Period.
I think.
I think in the fertility world, we see this all the time. We're getting better and better at freezing and thawing human tissue without damaging it. So we're freezing eggs and stopping time for women, freezing embryos that can become healthy babies 5 years later, 10 years later. I mean, I'm...
But realistically, and I hate to rain on the parade here, but you're talking about just taking a body, putting it on dry ice, shipping it across an ocean, and then freezing it. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say that at some point this won't be possible. I think it may very well. We actually profiled people on our show who have been frozen underwater.
And preserved, but that's for a couple days.
But the science makes sense to some extent, but we're not there yet. My question, though, is if you're someone, and particularly I was thinking about this story because I would never want to rain on someone's parade when they're dealing with cancer. And if you're 14 and this gives you some semblance of hope, why not?
Well, that's my whole thing. I think it's her choice. It's like the right to die.
Yep.
It's like this is the way she didn't really want to die, but if she's going to have to die, this is what she wanted. But it is crazy when I hear women like, I've had my embryo frozen for 10 years. Yeah. And you're like, if someone would have said that 10 or 15 years ago, you're like, no way.
And we've met those babies, and there's no frostbite on their ears, and they're healthy. It's great. It's so promising.
And there are so many issues that go along with this. So number one, it costs $28,000. So if this ever were achievable, right now, I personally think you're selling false hope. I do believe that. But think about all the issues if we all decided to freeze ourselves before we pass, and then, 50 years from now, you just wake up. Even if it worked, it's so troubling to me. It is a science fiction type of movie, and it's not one I necessarily want to be in.
You get thawed out and then fall in love with your child. Like,
How would you know? I mean, a lot of interesting things can start happening.
Well,
imagine
the script is unfolding here, yeah.